There are several reasons why animals attack people. The most frightening one is when people are assaulted while traveling or exploring the wilderness alone. Because lonely individuals are often easier targets for wild monsters, these attacks are frequently reproduced using evidence acquired after the occurrence because there were no witnesses. Henri Bource, an Australian surfer and outstanding graphic artist, has the same tale. So join us as we explore Henri Bource's life, the footage of his shark attack, and the incident in detail. Henri Bource, born in the Netherlands and raised in Australia, is a Dutch-Australian scuba diver, underwater cameraman, musician, and shark attack survivor. Bource, who was born in Rotterdam, emigrated to Australia as a child in 1954. He studied graphic design with his father and learned how to utilize an aqualung. On February 11, 1985, he went on a surf adventure to the secluded Queensland coast of Percy Island. Talking about the island, Julia Percy Island, sometimes known as Deal Island, is the largest island in the Kent Group. It's halfway between Tasmania and Victoria in Australia's Bass Strait. On the island sits the Deal Island Lighthouse, an unmanned lighthouse that has proved vital to sea navigation. The island is designated as a wildlife reserve and is home to numerous seabird colonies, including shearwaters and penguins. Because of the diverse marine life in the surrounding waters, conservation efforts should be concentrated there. Despite access restrictions, experts and enthusiasts are drawn to the island's natural and historical characteristics. Moreover, the lonely island provides an environment to seabirds that are uncommon even by Australian wildlife standards. However, where there are fur seals, there is also one of the island's native predators, the great white shark. Unnoticed to Henri and his friends, this would be the day that would change the way they lived forever. His surfing buddies watched the incident, and a friend who was videoing Bource surfing captured it as well. The attack video has since garnered recognition and been widely shared online. Bource was attacked by a great white shark of up to 2.4 meters in length on Lady Julia Percy Island in Australia in November 1964. He was 29 years old and lived in Hawthorne East at the time. To get more into it, what really happened was that Henri and his buddies, Dietmar Krupa and Fred Arndt, were discussing a horrific tale. It wasn't something the average population would discuss immediately before plunging into the ocean and placing themselves at the mercy of the waves. The shark, Big Ben, was discovered while wandering around the nearby area. Henri recorded a film for about an hour and returned to the boat around 1:45. Unsatisfied with his initial film appearance, Henri returned to the sea, this time accompanied by Dietra and Fred, both of whom had shorthand. Nobody could have expected that they were to come out from this dive forever changed by the events that were to follow. While doing a free dive, the three friends came across a group of seals rolling around in the waves. Henri immediately switched to film and focused on a bull seal amongst the harem. Suddenly, the seals turned tail and the energetic waves became quiet. Something was not quite right, but due to the poor visibility in the water, the divers couldn't quite make out. They dove 10 meters deeper as they touched the bottom, but they couldn't find the seals and understood they must ascend. Before Henri could realize what was happening, he broke through the surface and his head appeared, but a tremendous force slammed him like a moving train the second his head broke the surface. Henri understood what attacked him and put his arms into the air to signal to the other divers. He yelled at the top of his voice. He was ripped through the water with incredible violence and was dragged below. He couldn't do a thing because the force that was grabbing Henri down was strong enough that his mask and snorkel were ripped off his face. And then, in a matter of seconds, he caught a glimpse of the perpetrator. It was a great white shark. It was Big Ben. The creature had caught itself onto his leg and shook him like a dog shaking someone's old slipper. Henri anxiously tried to reach for the shark's eyes, but its big snout was in the way. He felt the piercing ache of the shark's teeth rupturing his calf. Henri was drowning. He had been holding his breath for about 45 seconds as the attack kept going. He was choking as the huge creature tugged at him and rolled him from side to side. He was overflowing with terror and hopelessness, and then, unexpectedly, the pulling and rolling paused all of a sudden. Henri could almost feel a moment of peace. He swam towards the surface of the ocean and broke through, gasping for as much air as he could. The shark returned for more, having developed a taste for Henri. The beast approached him again, hungry for another bite at those in need, but Diemar and Fred beat the beast off with their small hands. Spears the shark returned at least 5 times, and each time Diemar and Fred fought it off since the thing was so determined to grab Henri's hand. The scuffle distorted Spears, and the dive boat hurried towards the commotion. Jill grabbed the safety line, and ultimately Henri was taken into the boat. Henri instantly received first aid on the boat. As he bled severely, the other divers brought him to the center and rapidly put a tourniquet to his injuries. Friends rescued Henri Bource from the attack and took him to a nearby hospital. The attack video was eventually entered as evidence during Bource's death investigation. The inquiry determined that Bource died as a result of a shark bite, but it also stated that his death was compounded by the island's remoteness and lack of medical supplies. The incident gave rise to 2 main theories. The first stated that according to Dietmar, Henri was petting a dog at the beach, and on the boat, the dog's scent was carried over to Henri, causing the shark to attack him. The second theory, according to experts and 2 Australian universities, was that Henri was wearing a wetsuit lined with the color yellow. Sharks are colorblind, but they can distinguish contrasting objects well. That day, in the murky waters of Lady Julia Percy Island, Henri's swimsuit's yellow color markings would have stood out against the surrounding water and might have drawn the attention of a great white shark. Henri did not harbor dissatisfaction towards the creature. It was just behaving in accordance with its nature. Fortunately, he had been surrounded by a group of expert and trained divers. Other people are not as fortunate. Henri also saw the loss of his leg as a fortunate event that helped him escape the shark's grasp. However, in contrast with the majority of great white shark attacks, this shark was determined to consume Henri alive, returning for him 5 times. If Henri hadn't had the support of his friends, he would have undoubtedly met his untimely demise abroad. The footage of Henri Bource being attacked by the shark is one of the most well-known shark attack videos in history. In the video, Bource is riding his surfboard when a great white shark attacks and bites off his leg. The film has gotten a lot of attention from news outlets and documentaries, and it's been widely shared online. Many people watch the film regardless of its graphic material because they are fascinated by sharks or are intrigued about them. While shark attacks are uncommon, it is prudent to limit the danger by avoiding places where shark activity is known, abstaining from wearing bright jewelry, and not swimming in regions where schools of fish or seals are present. Swimming in groups and staying near to the beach can also improve safety, then surfing in groups, and wearing safety equipment such as wetsuits or shark repellents to mitigate the effects of a shark bite. Certainly, it's crucial to avoid swimming during dawn and dusk when sharks are more active. Pay attention to local warnings and signs, and steer clear of areas where there is fishing activity. Refrain from excessive splashing or erratic movements that might attract sharks, and if you see a shark, try to maintain eye contact while calmly and steadily moving towards the shore. Curious to know more about such topics? Then make sure to hit the subscribe button and follow us for more content like this.